watching Fox Direct TV.
He's got things covered there. Jay Glazer. Jay?
All right, thanks, Chris. Standing here with me is Chiefs head coach Herm Edwards. Herm, you guys start off the season 0-2, and you're with a backup quarterback, Damon Huard. What do you need to see from Damon today?
He just has to keep his poise, and he's going to have to make some throws when it's necessary. And if he does that, we'll be in good shape.
How huge is today's game again? It's at home against your old friend Mike Nolan. How big would it be today for you?
Oh, it's big. I mean, if we need to win a game. I mean, we're due. We've been playing hard. We've been playing pretty well the last 2 games. But we got to win a game. We got to get it. We got to get in that other column.
All right. Again, Herm, good luck to you today. Guys, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Jay. Trent Green, of course, on the sidelines for the first time since being knocked out in the opener against Cincinnati, the concussion. It'll be weeks before they even discuss when he can possibly return to play.
But that'll be a big confidence booster for this entire team, because Trent obviously is one of their major leaders. But what it will really do is help that guy right there, Damon Huard. When he comes off the field, he will have Trent there. Let him know what he's seeing out there from the defense.
But Damon Huard will run things as the Chiefs won the toss. Dante Hall from Joe Nedney. And week 4 is underway for the Chiefs and 49ers. Hall from inside his 10. Across the 25-26 yard line where the Chief offense will take over. Damon Huard has been in the league for 10 years. This is only his 8th career start, 5-2. He started week 2 against Denver, went into overtime on a low-scoring game and fell to defeat.
And you mentioned, Chris, it's his 8th career start, but this is only his 2nd start since 2000. So he hasn't played a lot at all, so there's still some rust, and he admitted that there was some rust and some jitters when he played against Denver. He's got to get that, he's got to get settled down today early.
Larry Johnson in the backfield on 10 from the 27-yard line. And that's who gets it. And we may see a lot of this today. And that offensive line will be busy. Up front, Will Shields, 11-time Pro Bowler. This is 210th consecutive start.
It's 2nd and 6 from the 31.
The go-to guy is Tony Gonzalez, 7-time Pro Bowler. Just had 2 catches in the loss in week 2 against the Broncos. We'll see a lot of 2 tight end from Kansas City today. 2nd and 6. Ronnie Cruz, the fullback, in, and Larry Johnson gets it again. 49ers bring up a 3rd down as they put the stop on Marcus Douglas, making the stop. The 49ers go from a 3-4 and at times a 4-3. Bryant Young, the veteran up front, has a couple of sacks coming into this game. They have 12 sacks as a team. The active linebacker group, including the rookie Manny Lawson, number 99. We'll see him a lot. And in the secondary, couple of ex-Bears, Tony Parrish and Walt Harris. 3rd down for Kansas City, with Larry Johnson carrying the first 2 times in this game.
And in a 3rd and 4 situation, this is where they want Huard to be, so he can just throw the ball quickly.
Gonzalez on the right side. Quick pass goes out to Larry Johnson. Got some room. And Will Shields was leading the way for a big first down pickup. 27 yards for Kansas City. Excellent block there by Will Shields once the catch was made.
And a very easy throw for Damon Huard. It's 3rd and 4. They just throw the swing pass in the flat to the running back, Larry Johnson, and then he's able to make some positive yards down the field behind Will Shields. But they've got to get Damon Huard in a rhythm early, so they're going to give him some easy throws.
All the way to the 40 of San Francisco. So Larry Johnson in the backfield with fullback Ronnie Cruz up in front of him. Eddie Kennison off to the right side. On 1st and 10. Larry Johnson again. He came into the game leading the NFL in yards from scrimmage, averaging 158 in their first 2, and he's touched it every play so far. Again, Douglas on the tackle for the 49ers.
And then with this offensive line, Kyle Turley, their starting left tackle, is out with a back injury. So Jordan Black, number 65, right there, has got to step in at the left tackle position. You can see they're going to go more 2 tight end sets. Jason Dunn in with Tony Gonzalez to give him some help.
And again on 2nd and 9, Larry Johnson creates some room and is brought down at about the 37-yard line of San Francisco. Melvin Oliver making the stop. He's that right end, the rookie from LSU, when they do go into a 4-man front.
And the key for San Francisco, when we talked to Jeff Ulbrich, the linebacker, he said their linebackers have to think like running backs today. When they see a hole, they have to hit it up in the hole. They can't sit back and let Larry Johnson come to them. They've got to go attack the run. If those linemen are pulling, they've got to attack the linemen.
Larry Johnson comes out. D. Brown comes in. 5 plays, 5 touches for Larry Johnson. He'll watch on 3rd and 7. Heward has time. Throws a little bit high, but complete to Tony Gonzalez, who hauls it in. Damon Heward completed his first 9 passes in week 2 against the Broncos. He's 2 for 2 so far.
And that's a very good throw, but the offensive line was able to pick up the blitz of the 49ers and give Damon Heward some time to throw it. You see he's coming, he's looking down the middle of the field. He's got good protection, throws the ball outside to Tony Gonzalez, who's matched up against the rookie, Manny Lawson. That should be an advantage to the Kansas City Chiefs.
And D. Brown in the backfield. Tony Gonzalez moves up to the line on 1st and 10. Chiefs opening kickoff and marching. Quick drop, quick throw. Kennison catches it and is hit hard over on the right side, bringing up 2nd down. That was Tony Parrish, the safety for the 49ers.
And again, just quick throws for Damon Heward early in the ball game. Let him get comfortable. Let him get the jitters out. Get into a rhythm. Eddie Kennison up top, just going to run the quick stop. And Heward's got to let that ball go. You see, he still double pumped that ball. That 3-step drop, the ball's got to be on the way already. You see Eddie Kennison has to wait for that ball. That allows the defender to close.
Shante Spencer on that side. Hand off to Larry Johnson again. Got some room up the middle.
And this is exactly what the 49ers expected. They expected the ball to be pounded straight ahead at them inside with those 3 offensive linemen, Wigman, Waters, and Shields. They expected that. They know that that's where the ball is coming, and they have to find a way because they are not a big physical type of defense. They use their quickness, and then those linebackers, again, they have to fill those holes quickly.
For all that's been made of the tackle problems in Kansas City, that interior line very strong, and that's where the Chiefs have been running successfully. 3rd and 2. 2 tight ends in. Heward to throw. And completes. Helmet comes off. A tough hit right at the 15-yard line, but Sammy Parker makes the catch. Jeff Ulbrich laying the shot.
Again, Sammy Parker just runs that short crosser, just an easy throw. You're going to see him come from the right side of your screen. He's going to run right under the zone defense of the 49ers, and even though he gets tattooed right there by Ulbrich, he's far enough down the field that as soon as he makes the catch, it's a 1st down.
Rod Gardner is in on the left side. First game active as a member of the Chiefs. And that's Dante Hall in motion. Since the opening kick. Heward to throw for the end zone. And it's a touchdown. Dante Hall.
Well, they said they were going to open up this offense, Chris, and I guess it's open now. They came out, they let Damon Heward go, and he threw some easy throws, then made a couple throws down the field, and then threw the ball into the end zone.
A 10-play drive, more than 6 minutes, and they get what they want. A 13-yard touchdown catch. Dante Hall from Damon Heward. Lawrence Tide's extra point. Heward said will adjust to the defense we're facing. Kansas City scores first. The 49ers will touch the football in a moment.
Well, let's go back. Parrish, the strong safety here. When Dante Hall comes in motion, Tony Parrish has to slide out right there, and now he's got to cover Dante Hall man-to-man, and that's a mismatch. And Dante Hall just runs that out and up right by Tony Parrish. Tony Parrish is a strong safety who's not used to being in coverage.
The Chiefs scored just 1 touchdown in their first 2 games. They score 1 here. The first time they touch the ball. Times to kick it off. Maurice Hicks is deep, and it bounces around where he picks it up at the 10. Hicks, room across the 30 before he's brought down up near the 34-yard line. Chris Griffin making the stop. Alex Smith, leading the 4th-ranked offense in the NFL, takes the field.
What you watching?
My refrigerator.
Fascinating.
I rigged up a security camera so my roommates can't swipe my Bud Light.
Beer cam. Now that's a brilliant use of technology.
The color red making some noise. Chiefs open with a touchdown drive, pushing the 49ers around. Alex Smith, who turned 22 years old in May, has thrown 108 passes this year without an interception. On first down, Frank Gore in the backfield. 2 tight ends. Gore gets the handoff. Picks up a couple of yards. The Chiefs swarming defense there.
Well, Chris, as you can hear it, this is one of the loudest stadiums in the entire National Football League. And San Francisco, they know that it's going to be tough today. And what they did in practice is they always practice with those loudspeakers. They turned them up even louder in practice this week to try to simulate this crowd noise. So now they're going to have to rely on hand signals whenever they're trying to change the play because it's so loud they can't hear Alex.
It got so loud, Norv Turner said, turn it down. I can't hear myself think. The offensive coordinator who has helped Alex Smith. On 2nd down and 5. Smith to throw. Ball comes out of his hands. Pressure in the pocket. He got it back at the 35-yard line. It was a fumble and a recovery. Tamba Hali, the #1 pick, keeping the heat on Alex Smith.
And Tamba is a speed guy. He's just going to get wide and not Quayne Harris's hands down. That allows him to continue around the corner, and then he strips the ball out of Alex Smith's hands. But that's one thing that Tamba said he needed to really work on was his hand work. And they come out early, and they do like karate drills where they're knocking hands off of themselves, and that was a perfect example there.
Loss of 3, 3rd and 8. And this is what Alex Smith is hearing. Play clock running. Flag flies, and he may not have gotten the snap off in time.
You see it's so loud down there, the players can't even hear it.
Game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
JC, you played here as a defensive back, and watching an opposing quarterback, especially a young guy which has not played here before, the noise does have an effect.
Oh, no question about it. It is a very intimidating setting. You come in here and it's all red and as loud as can be, and you can't communicate with your teammates, especially the wide receivers. And that's why they've got to do something early, make a big play, try to settle this crowd down.
So 3rd and 13. Battle and Bryant on the far left side. Gilmore on the right. It's a handoff to Gore. And the 49ers, is that ball out of there? The ball was juggled. The officials are saying that Kansas City has it, and Jared Allen coming up with the recovery. Jared Allen knocking the ball loose.
And it's so loud that the players on the field can't even hear the whistle, so they don't know when the play's over.
Well, let's try to take a look.
Watch Derek Johnson right here, number 56. He's going to read the draw. Watch him come up. Great job right there, and he gets his helmet on the football of Frank Gore, and that ball just comes out. And then there's a mad scramble. No one can hear the whistle, and everybody's just fighting for the ball.
And the Chiefs have it, 1st down. We'll get into the fumbling problems of Frank Gore. 3 in 3 games next time they get the football. So another chance for Kansas City to strike. Heward to throw. Short pass hit it out of the hands of Eddie Kennison. That'll bring up 2nd down.
You know, going back to that fumble, Chris, that's been a problem for the 49ers all season long, is too many fumbles, and that's 4 now by Frank Gore by himself in this 4th game, and the 3 other fumbles have all led to points for the opponents. And it looks like they're in very good position here for that other fumble to lead to points for Kansas City.
And already a short yardage change made for the 49ers on offense, because head coach Mike Nolan said we don't want Frank to worry about the fumble. This is Larry Johnson on 2nd down, and Herm Edwards told us that they were going to come after the this identity of the Chief defense. He wants this team. He said the wheel, it won't be the bad wheel on the Chief car anymore, the defense, and he wanted to put pressure early on Alex Smith, and so far it's paid off.
Well, for the last few years, this defense has gotten no respect around the league. It's been an offensive team. They wanted to put a lot of points on the board, and they've kind of neglected the defense. Well, now that's all changing. They want to go back to the old Chiefs defense that they've been known for, and that's tough, physical football.
Perfect balance for the Chiefs so far. They have a 3rd and 9 already with a 7-0 lead. Hewitt throwing a little bit high. Eddie Kennison, did he make the catch? Yes. 16-yard pickup and a Kansas City first down.
And that's a great job by Eddie Kennison, just going up and making a play. He's going to come down and run the out route. Shante Spencer's going to have good coverage. You're going to see Webster underneath him. The ball is high and behind him. But Eddie Kennison does a good job of going up and fighting for that football.
So inside the 10, 1st and goal. 3 tight ends in with Larry Johnson in the backfield. And Larry Johnson has it and is brought down in a hurry. Chiefs dominating in this first quarter, and successful throws to the right side so far for Damon Hewitt.
And what the 49ers have done all year is get after the quarterback. They come with a lot of blitzes. They've got 12 sacks already this season, and only 4 of those are by the down linemen. So they bring a lot of guys in pressure, and they've got to get back to that. They can't afford to let Hewitt sit in that pocket and be comfortable.
2nd down and goal. Larry Johnson in the backfield. They split 2 receivers on each side for Hewitt. He gives to Larry Johnson, who squirms through inside the 5 down to the 4. It'll be 3rd and goal. Marcus Douglas, who's been busy up front, making the stop for the 49ers. Hewitt is 6 of 7 so far in the game. Already 8 carries for Larry Johnson for 19 yards.
And this is an area where they want to look for Tony Gonzalez. He's a big, tall guy, really excels in the red zone. This is where Damon Hewitt is going to try to find Tony Gonzalez, probably going to the corner or in the back of the end zone. And there's Tony lining up right there.
Chiefs 4 of 4 on 3rd down plays. Hewitt for the end zone for Gonzalez, tipped high and away. Nice defensive coverage back there and no flag. That'll bring up a field goal situation. Mark Roman, who comes in at safety with Tony Parrish, made the play. And
the problem is the Niners know that Tony Gonzalez is the guy that they want to go to also. And you can see they're all over Tony Gonzalez in the end zone. The guy that they're going to cover. That's the #1 guy that everyone on this defense said when they throw the ball, we're going to look for 88.
It'll be a 22-yard field goal attempt for Lawrence Tynes, who provided all their points in week 2 against Denver. And the kick is good. The Chiefs have a 10-0 lead. Damon Hewitt leading the way. Trent Green watching from the sidelines. Frank Gore fumble that led to the field goal.
And you've got to wonder if that's in Frank's mind now. When we met with him yesterday, he said, oh, no, I'm not worried about the fumbles. It's just something that happened. But when you do it again, and you can see his head hanging right there, it's on your mind.
Maurice Hicks kicks the football, and the 49ers get some help on the recovery. Morin Norris, the fullback there, so they keep possession. Alex Smith and the Niners take over on offense.
Recovered by Moran Norris.
Tuesday, Fox Sports proud to be your home for the most dramatic, compelling, and heartbreaking month in sports. It all begins Game 1 of the League Divisional Series. Either the Tigers or Twins will take on the Yankees. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Postseason baseball on Fox. It can't be scripted. First down for the 49ers. Trailing 10-0. The handoff goes back to Frank Gore, who fumbled the last time. 4 fumbles in 4 games. You talked to him about it, JC. He's trying not to think about it.
But he can't help but to think about it now. And you can see the ones on the goal line is when he's trying to jump over into the end zone and just exposes the ball. And that's really where the problem was. But now, today, he fumbles not on the goal line. He fumbles out in the field. So fumbling has to be an issue for him, and it's in his mind, I'm sure.
And that was a heartbreaker that Patterson returned for a touchdown against the Eagles. Second down and about 6. Basham with the tight end in motion, stops the block. Smith's going to throw. Throwing high, and it's caught. That's Antonio Bryant, who thought he had his clear path to the end zone. Stepped out of bounds after the catch, a 22-yard gain. There were 2 receivers in the pattern, one short Antonio Bryant deep, and he was able to make the catch.
Well, because he's running across the field away from the defenders, and they roll Alex Smith out. And that's one way to get away from the pressure. You let a guy like Alex roll out. He's a mobile guy. He throws well on the run, and now he has an option to either run the ball or he can look down the field and throw the ball.
We will keep you posted on all the baseball scores, just like we do with the NFL scores. So stay with us here on Fox. Keep an eye on the screen. We'll cover it for you. On first down, Alex Smith. In the backfield is Michael Robinson, the short yardage back, but this is a first down play. The former Penn State quarterback who scored 2 touchdowns last week.
And you've got to wonder if now their confidence in Frank Gore is starting to diminish a little bit in the game. And you know, Frank Gore, when he fumbled the ball last week, he said he got calls from everybody. His mother even got out of the hospital on Monday and called him and said, "Hey, what's wrong with you, man? Why are you fumbling the ball?" And said he talked to his old high school coach. He talked to everybody, and everybody was wondering why he's putting the ball on the ground.
2nd and 7 from the 45. And it'll be Robinson again. Coming along on the right side. We send our best wishes to Frank Gore's mom, Lizzie, who is recovering from a kidney transplant, and his family watching. He said he calls the coach, Mike Nolan, after each game and keep in touch and try to talk about those fumbles. But
not last week.
No, Nolan called him.
Nolan called him, and I'm sure Nolan will be calling him after the game today, too. And, you know, it's something they've got to talk about. And Nolan said that he just has to understand why he's putting the ball on the ground. He really loves Frank Gore, but you can't afford to keep fumbling the ball.
Getting noisy on 3rd and 4. Robinson is in the backfield. Eric Johnson, the tight end. Smith to throw. And it is incomplete. Falls about the 35-yard line, intended for Arnez Battle. And that'll bring up a punting situation.
A lot of pressure, though. Greg Wesley's going to come up from the outside, and he's going to pressure. You can see him right there, just coming inside of Jonas Jennings, and there's not enough guys to pick him up. Greg Wesley, a strong safety, a bigger, stronger guy that can really run, and got right in the face of Alex Smith.
So Andy Lee comes out to punt, and Dante Hall back to return. Did not have a punt return for a touchdown last year, but always a threat. Fair catch sign, and hauls it in. The man who caught the touchdown pass that helps Kansas City to the 10-0 lead. Chiefs on offense when we come back. Win of this season off the bye week. Damon Heward completing 6 of 8 passes for 75 yards, and Kansas City with that turnover on the advantage side of the total yards.
And coming out of a bye week, they played 2 games. They had a bye week that allowed Damon Heward some extra time to get comfortable with this offense and work with these receivers. And so far today, it looks like they're on the same page.
2 receivers on the left side. Chris Wilson, the tight end, in motion. First down from the 10. Larry Johnson, the handoff. And he pushes it across the 22-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down. Derek Smith. Let's check in now with Jay Glazer.
Well, Chris, everybody loves to give their 2 cents into the backup. Damon here is being told by the coaching staff, hey, we want you to press downfield a little bit more. Take your strikes downfield. But it's interesting. And talking to Trent Green, he said, no, I told Damon the opposite. Don't let anybody affect what you are. If you're not comfortable doing it, don't do that. I know the coaches may want you to do something, but don't change who you are. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Jay. And Trent Green on the sideline, first time back since that opening week concussion. On 2nd down, Heward to throw. And nice catch made by Eddie Kennison. Another first down.
And Eddie Kennison is a guy who came out in the paper and said, hey, I need more balls. All of us wide receivers are frustrated because we're not getting the ball. Well, they're getting an opportunity now. Eddie Kennison is just going to run this crossing route right here and does a good job for the 2nd time, going up high and catching that ball with his hands. And that's what they're going to have to do. Damon Heward is not always going to put the ball in the ideal spot, so he has to have guys that will go and make a play for him.
Another first down. Damon Heward engineering the drive. Fakes. Looking to throw and does to Larry Johnson. And that doesn't get much. That'll bring up a 2nd down. You know, Trent Dilfer, when we talked to him Friday, he mentioned he got tired of sitting at home and wanted to design some plays, which he turned in. That's the end of the first quarter. The Chiefs lead the Niners 10-0. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Chiefs start the second quarter from their own 27, leading 10-0 on second down and 7. Larry Johnson has been the workhorse. Damon Huard has completed 8 of 10 passes. Johnson gets it, and the 49ers have that one figured out. Nice tackle made as they strung it out. Mark Roman up to make the hit. A 2-yard loss.
They do a good job of making Larry Johnson run sideways. That's what they want with him. They don't want him to be able to come downhill. Roman, number 26, doing a good job of playing Larry Johnson, making sure he keeps outside contained, and then comes up, and that's the way you've got to tackle a big, strong guy like Larry Johnson. You've got to go low. If you go high on him, he's going to start to run through you.
On 3rd and 9, deep round in the backfield. Kennison and Parker on the left side for Huard. Throws across the middle. Tony Gonzalez has it. Brought down in a hurry. Looks like he's just short. Parker. Shante Spencer there to make sure he didn't get more.
Kansas City again did a good job of picking up the blitz. The Niners like to bring a lot of secondary guys. They blitzed off the slot that time, but they were able to find him, pick him up, and then allowed Huard to throw the ball down to Gonzalez.
And this 49er defense, which got a workout from the Eagles last week, finally with a stop on the Chiefs. So Dustin Colquitt, who's been reliable, better than average for the Chiefs, ready to punt. Brandon Williams, rookie from Wisconsin, back to return for the 49ers. Bounces at the 21-yard line and stops at about the 20, where the Chiefs will doubt it. So the 49ers trailing by 10. Get the football here at Arrowhead. And there's nothing wrong with your picture here in Kansas City. That is the color pink in that fountain. That's Kansas City's way around town of reminding everybody of breast cancer awareness. Join the cure and the fight. Pink is the color. In fact, a number of the Chief players signed pink footballs to help make people aware. 49ers aware they need to play catch-up again. That's what they've been doing all season long. 1st and 10 from just outside their 20-yard line. Alex Smith completes the pass to Battle. He gets up near the first down, past the 30-yard line. Interesting in that last series that Michael Robinson was in on all the downs for Frank Gore, not just short yardage.
Yeah, and Frank is back in now, so maybe they just wanted to get him settled down some. But the 49ers, they just have to get some things going. They've started slow in every game this year, and they've really been a second-half team. What they wanted to do today was come out, start fast. They haven't done that, but they wanted to start fast and see if they can get some points on the board in the first half.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Noyes pick it up. A handoff to Gore. He's got a little bit of room. Across the 40 up near another first down. Let's get a game break, see what's going on. Check in with Chris Rose in Los Angeles. Chris?
Hi, Chris. You know, all the talk with the Cowboys this week has been about the accidental overdose by T.O. This is the intentional touchdown grab by Harry Glenn. Cowboys up on the Titans 7-3. Back to Chris, JC, and the Glaze.
T.O., how about all of that stuff this week? Is that crazy or what? And the thing, Jay Glazer, he call me and give me any updates, so I had to jump on Pro Football Talk and get all the updates. I'm on there every hour, and that T.O. stuff is just crazy.
His return to Philadelphia will be something. That's where the NFL pregame show will be next week. 1st and 10 from the 41. Smith on the run. Alex takes it out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. Bringing up second down. You know, a number of the 49er players, in fact, Antonio Bryant, the 81 on this team, said he was impressed the way Alex took some shots last week and hung in there against the Eagles.
They were all impressed because he really took some hard shots against the Eagles last week. And Antonio said, hey, man, I told him, you can't take those kind of shots, man. This is not the Super Bowl yet. We've got a lot more games to play, and we need you on the field. But Alex Smith is a guy who ran around a lot in college. He's used to running with the football. He's a mobile guy. That's a dimension that he can add to this offense.
So it brings up 2nd and 7 from
Look at all the guys at the line of scrimmage.
He's going to throw it. And that's to the fullback. And that was Moran Norris, who goes down in a hurry. Jared Allen was all over that one.
Did you see all the guys that the Chiefs had at the line of scrimmage?
7-yard loss.
Hey, look at all these guys. There's no pre-snap read there. You know they're coming after you, and all 9 guys are coming after him. And just tries to throw the screen, and there's really nothing there.
Some of the Chief defenders saying that, yeah, we're going through an identity change here. This team is going to be more about defense. And listen to the crowd. Penalty flag. Smith loses the football on 3rd down. Jared Allen was in once again. But let's check the flag. The Chiefs may have jumped.
Offside, number 69. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Walt Anderson, retired dentist, our man on the mic, the referee today.
And Jared Allen's just going to get a jump, trying to jump the count here, and watch him just a little too early. Right there, just a half a step too early on that count. But that's what happens. You start looking at the linemen because they all have to look in at the ball also because it's so noisy. They can't hear the cadence by Alex Smith. So what those defensive linemen do, they try to get that same jump that the linemen get.
First penalty against the Chiefs. You saw the leg kick from Alex Smith. Trying to mute that noise. That's battle in motion. Smith dancing around. Alex Smith twirled down at the 40-yard line by Derek Johnson. And the 49ers forced to punt. 2-yard loss. They came in with the 4th best offense in the NFL over 3 games, and so far this Chief defense picking up right where they left off in Denver.
And they know it's going to be tough because this defense is much improved. Norv Turner said, hey, we know that there's not going to be very many big plays made. They've only given up 2 big plays all year. They just have to stay poised right here and just continue to execute.
So lead a punt it to Dante Hall. Standing back at his own 15-yard line. He'll have a chance to return this. Dante Hall up across the 35-yard line, up near the 40. TJ Slaughter on the stop. The Chiefs will try and add to their 10-0 lead.
Sit down. I'm Dr. Angus. Watch what happens when someone who can't sit takes
a whole lot of offense their first couple of games, but today Damon Huard looking more comfortable. Larry Johnson carrying the load, and Eddie Kennison with some clutch catches, leading to the 10-0 advantage, plus a fumble, setting up a field goal on 1st down. That's Larry Johnson across the 40. And this is what the Chiefs like to do, right? Get a lead at home and then just pound away with Larry Johnson.
And that's their new philosophy offensively that Herman Edwards has installed here, and trying to get these guys to really understand and play that way is that once they get the lead, they want to pound it. They want to run the ball, control the clock, and then work the play-action game off of it. You know, Herman said people think that, hey, I don't like to pass the ball. He said, hey, I want to pass the ball, but I just want to be smart about it.
On 2nd down and 7. That's the tight end, Chris Wilson, in motion to the right side. 2 receivers on the left for Huard, who throws it to Larry Johnson. Let's check in down on the field with Jay Glazer. Jay?
Well, Chris, you guys are talking about pounding the rock in there, and they would like to do it with a 1-2 punch of Larry Johnson and Michael Bennett. Well, that's not going to happen today, and why? Well, let's take a look into something of the theater of the absurd. On Friday, guys, after practice, Michael Bennett had a foot race against guard Brian Waters, gave Waters a 10-yard head start. Team was going crazy. By the way, lost the race, but in the process, pulled his hamstring. That's why he's out today, guys. Back to you.
3rd and 6. Yes, strange but true. Dee Brown, also the emergency 3rd quarterback. Brody Coyle, the backup here, with Damon Huard, your starter, and Trent Green watching. And Huard waiting, throwing, and completes it. That's Tony Gonzalez for a Chief 1st down. Inside the 45 of San Francisco, there's a flag down.
And how about Damon Huard just sidestepping Walt Harris? I talked about how the 49ers like to blitz guys out of the secondary. Walt Harris comes free.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 97, defense. hitting the quarterback low. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Bryant Young.
Yeah. And again, Damon Heward, watch Harris. He's going to come free right here, untouched, and he's going to miss. Damon Heward's just going to sidestep him. He's going to keep his eyes down the field, and you can see right there at the end, Bryant Young.
Yeah, but was that really below the knee area, that hit? Because that's the new rule that the league wants to protect quarterbacks. Remember Carson Palmer in the playoff game last year.
And once a quarterback starts to step up and he's a threat to run the ball, he's live. He should be free, and that's something that below the belt, below the knee, actually was something that's supposed to be in the pocket.
So it gives the Chiefs a first down, and Larry Johnson gets the carry. He'll pick up a couple. Yeah, let's take another look at the call on Bryant Young.
And you can see Damon Heward is actually, he's a threat to run the ball here. He's stepping up. He's running towards the line of scrimmage, and you can see Bryant Young, look, he starts, he's waist high.
Yeah, that's a debatable call, JC. He reached in, he didn't use the helmet.
That's not debatable. That's a bad call.
Okay, you said it. I'll back you on that one. Either way, the Chiefs gain the yardage. Bryant Young gets the penalty. It's 2nd and 7. And D. Brown is in the backfield. You heard Jay talk about the situation that has Michael Bennett inactive because of that hamstring pull. Heward will keep it. Bryant Young helping to bring him down about the 21-yard line.
You know, Chris, we're going back to that penalty by Bryant Young that we think it wasn't a penalty. Well, last week they had some calls in the Eagles game that they weren't happy about, and then the league came back last week and said, hey, you guys are right. We shouldn't have called Michael Robinson for a chop block. They also said that Mike Patterson was down on that fumble by Frank Gore. He picks it up and runs 98 yards for a touchdown. And
that was a swing of 14 points in that game.
And then there was another one, a big pass play by the Eagles on a pick that wasn't called. And the league came back and said all 3 of those plays should have been reversed.
3rd and 3. The bad breaks continuing for the 49ers. Heward throwing and completing to Sammy Parker, who's brought down in a hurry. But it looks like it's another Kansas City first down. Mike Adams making the stop.
And you know, when we talked to Mike Nolan about those calls and did he talk to his team about it, he said no, I didn't say a word to him about it because I don't want them to think there's an excuse for losing. When you have a young team and you're trying to build, there are no excuses. You go and you win the game, and you know you can't complain about referees or anything. You've got to go and play.
Mike Nolan said it was a good test last week. The 49ers, he wanted him to go from a team hoping to win to one expecting to win. Right now, they're hoping to stop another Kansas City drive. Larry Johnson on first down. They string it out nicely and knock him out of bounds. Mike Adams again getting the work done.
But a great job by Derek Smith attacking the line of scrimmage. Watch Derek Smith. Watch how he attacks the line of scrimmage. He's going to read the play, and look at him come downhill. Right now, he attacks Ronnie Cruz. He forces Larry Johnson to bounce outside, and that allows the rest of the pursuit to get there. Mike Adams just knocks him out of bounds. But that's what those linebackers have to do. They have to attack the line of scrimmage.
Mike Adams, a scrappy, undrafted free agent. Had a rough game last week. Talked to us about it. Heward for Dante Hall. Penalty flag flies as he goes out of the end zone. Dante Hall trying for his 2nd touchdown catch in this game. Shante Spencer back there.
Pass interference, number 36, defense. Foul occurred in the end zone. First down at the 1-yard line.
And Spencer called for the infraction.
And again, Kansas City picks up the blitz by the 49ers. They go down the field, and Shante Spencer right there just panics. When you get in that position as a defensive back, turn your head around. You're in great position. Instead, he panics right there, and he runs into Dante Hall. If he just turns his head around, he might be able to make a play on that ball.
1st and goal, Larry Johnson. Touchdown, Kansas City. Larry Johnson's first touchdown of this year. He had 20 rushing scores last year. Gives Kansas City a 16-0 advantage, and the extra points will give the Chiefs Their highest point total of the 3 games so far this year they've played in. Remember, coming off the bye week. So the workhorse, Larry Johnson, pounding the rock, 17-0 at Arrowhead.
Offenses run it through Larry Johnson. You're going to pound the ball with him, and then you're going to open up the passing game when they get 8 guys in the box.
Ties to kick it off. 5:16 remaining here in the second quarter. Maurice Hicks trying to get the 49ers going. And he is brought down hard at the 20-yard line. Garrett Fox with the tackle. 49ers take over on offense in a moment. Have you watching Fox NFL Sunday and be with us next week. It's a doubleheader weekend. Some will see the Redskins and the Giants. And of course, many will see T.O.'s return to Philadelphia. He's playing today in Tennessee. Cowboys and Eagles. It's the NFL on Fox. I know it's hot out, but that guy with the red head, is it that hot? He needs some sunscreen. First and 10 49ers. They've had to come back in every game this year, and they'll have to do that today. Smith just throws it towards Gore, and it's batted incomplete. Now the pregame show is going to go to Philadelphia. It's a return engagement for the second time this year. Who would you boo first? T.O., J.J., or in Philly they do boo Santa Claus.
Yeah, that Philly crowd is a tough crowd. They booed Santa Claus. They heckled Jimmy Johnson a few weeks ago, but I don't think there's any question. That man will get booed from the time he walks off bus till the time he gets back on the bus to leave.
There'll be a little sympathy there, don't you think?
I don't think so.
All right, I think it'll be one big collective boo for all 3.
Stop boo.
But Fox will bring it to you. Be with us next Sunday. Here, 2nd and 10. It's getting louder for Alex Smith. He'll hand it off to Gore, who's got some room. Frank Gore up to the 35-yard line for a 49er first down. Sammy Knight makes the stop after a 14-yard pickup.
A good job by Jonas Jennings, just washing Jared Allen down the line of scrimmage and opening up the edge for Frank Gore. And they've got to get Frank going. They've got to get him some more touches, get him some confidence, because he is a very good running back coming into the game. Excuse me, Chris. He was the third league in total yards from scrimmage. So, the guy is very capable.
He was the team's leading rusher and receiver coming into this game. A first down from the 35. Smith throwing down the right side, incomplete, intended for Antonio Bryant. Let's check in with Chris Rose for a game break. Chris?
All right, Chris, we have a repeat offender in Tennessee. Drew Bledsoe to Terry Glenn, 13 yards the first time. We showed you that. This is Drew Bledsoe to Terry Glenn, 13 yards the second time. T.O. 2 catches, by the way, as the Cowboys lead the Titans 14-3. Back to Chris, JC, and the Glaze.
And thank you, Chris. Terry Glenn might get booed if he does that in Philadelphia. Eagle fans won't want that next week.
No, they won't, but believe me, all those boos will be going to number 81. Trust me.
All right, meanwhile, Alex Smith would like to get the ball to number 81 here. Antonio Bryant came in averaging over 23 yards a catch, leading the NFL on 2nd and 10. Trailing 17-0. Quick toss to Arnaz Battle. Fighting hard to get up to the 43-yard line. That'll bring up a third down for the Niners. Arnaz Battle, tough blocker, former quarterback at Notre Dame. Michael Robinson, you could have 3 quarterbacks on the field at once with Alex Smith and Arnaz Battle, all capable of throwing it.
Yeah, you can do some tricky things there, and that's not beyond the realm of Norv Turner, one of the best offensive minds in the game. It could be a possibility.
Now it's 3rd and short, and Frank Gore, with 2 yards to go, remains in the game, in the backfield.
Could it be a pass?
Fake to Gore. Smith throws, and it's intercepted. Sammy Knight has it for Kansas City at midfield. Coming around to the 40. Sammy Knight inside the 35 of the 49ers. And on the return, a nice block by Jared Allen. Sammy Knight with a 27-yard return.
And Chris, the problem with this play is it's a one-man route. They're going to fake the run to Frank Gore, but now there's only one guy on the receiver. Down the field. Look at Sammy Knight, just runs right under him. Sertan is back there. Jared Page is back there. and Alex Smith has no choice but to try to throw it to Antonio. He only got a pattern.
So the second turnover here in the first half. And for Alex Smith, that's his first interception thrown this year. Came into the game with 3 touchdown passes, an improved passer rating, coming off a career high in yardage. Chiefs take over on offense. Damon Heward to throw on first down. Looking for Kennison. Eddie Kennison.
Well, they wanted to open up this offense and throw the ball down the field. I think this offense is wide open. This is the type of offense that the Chiefs used to run, it seems like it. You know, we heard earlier from Glazer that Trent Green told Damon Heward to do what you do. They feel comfortable, whatever it is that is. It looks like Heward feels comfortable throwing it all over the place.
And Kennison kept running through the tunnel. I don't think he wanted to stop. This kick by Tides makes it 24-0. Damon Heward with a couple of touchdown passes already. You know, he owns a couple of Super Bowl rings over the years, backing up people in New England and in Miami. And he remembered when the Patriots started out 0-2 and turned their season around.
Eddie Kennison working on Shante Spencer. That's a guy they've been going at quite a bit today. Look at that stutter right there. Just allows and makes Shante Spencer stop his feet. And then Eddie Kennison can blow right by him. Eddie Kennison is still a fast guy, even though he's an older veteran, can still run, still has the wheels. Once you get a defensive back to stop his feet, they're in trouble.
Reminiscent of Bo Jackson going through the tunnel. And Damon Heward was kind of soft-spoken when he spoke to us, and confident that we'll do what we can, what's there. I mean, that last week, that first start, 5 or 6 years against Denver, or 2 weeks ago before the bye week. So we had a little more time to prepare and settle in with this offense and know that he was going to be running the show.
And I think that bye week has really helped him, and also knowing that he's the starter. One thing to prepare for a game when you're the backup, you don't know if you're going in the game or not, but when you know that you're the starter, there's a little different mentality and attitude that you take during the week, because you know you're the guy. You can visualize everything throughout the week.
Only his 8th start in 10 years in the NFL, and Herman Edwards probably the right kind of guy to have when you're 0-2 and with a quarterback change. He's been through those kinds of things before. Maurice Hicks on the return, and he's knocked down at the 19-yard line. Let's check in with Jay, who has more on Damon Heward.
Well, you know what, guys, you're talking about how well Damon's playing today, but it's actually his prowess as a scout team quarterback that got him some fame up there in New England when he was with the Patriots. Guys up there said when they played the Indianapolis Colts, he had Peyton Manning down to a T, to the point where everybody said it's like we practice against Peyton Manning all week long. It helped them out in their playoff game a couple years ago. In fact, Bill Belichick actually gave Heward the game ball for just his work on the scout team. Back to you guys.
Yeah, so he's imitating other quarterbacks. He looks a little like Matthew Perry. He has his helmet off in that new show. Meanwhile, the 49ers need to turn things around here. They're in a deep hole. 24-0, and they're going to run the ball with Frank Gore. They've been a second-half team, and that's what they're going to probably try and focus on here.
And with Damon Heward, look at his completion percentage today, 87%, and they're not all short balls. He's thrown the ball down the field. He's made some big throws. He's thrown some crossers. He's thrown the ball on go outs. He's mixed it up out of your quarterback, and finally looks like he's comfortable, and he understands this offense, of course, but now I think all that rust is off of Damon Heward.
So the 49ers trying to make something happen on second down. Again, it's a running play to Frank Gore. Are they playing into the hands of this Kansas City defense here?
Well, being down 24-0 right now, they've just turned the ball over. I think they're a little conservative right now. They're going into halftime here. They don't want to turn the ball over again, allow the Chiefs to get even more points right before halftime.
You know, they played a pretty good game on the road in their opener against Arizona, rallied in that game. Alex Smith will have to rally his team here. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Alex Smith on the run again. He'll keep it. Alex Smith gets the 49ers a first down. Ty Law ran him out of bounds. It was a 12-yard pickup. So a fumble by Gore, an interception by Smith has led to points. The Chiefs talk about scripting our baseball coverage in October. You can't do it, but you can't script it any better for Kansas City the way it's gone here today.
And that's what they wanted to do defensively. Their next step in their progression, because now they are playing much more physical and tougher. Their next step was taking the ball away. That's what they needed to do more. And so far this first half, they've done that a couple times. They've led the points.
First down from just over their own 30. Smith with a quick toss to Gore. Spins and is hit hard up near the 40. That kind of twisting is what cost him a fumble a few times.
He's just got to make sure he secures that football. What's happened with Frank Gore is when he's twisting and turning, he's exposed the football and the ball has been punched out. That time he kept it tight. He took a big shot by Karika Mitchell.
Second down and 1. Hand off to Robinson, who gets the first down. Sorry, that's Frank Gore. Michael Robinson is someone who will come in short yardage situations, at least in most cases. But at this point, they need Gore capable of the big play on the field.
And they've got to do something positive here. Give them some confidence, some momentum going into halftime.
First down from the 43. Smith throws. Penalty flag comes out. It's incomplete for Gore. And we'll wait to see what the call is.
It'll be holding
against the 49ers.
Holding, number 75. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Call on Jonas Jennings. Coming up at the half, Kurt Menevee and the piece of halftime. Terry, Howie, Jimmy. Kurt will have all the highlights, scores. That includes baseball scores from today that'll decide who's going where when the postseason starts Tuesday night on Fox, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Check out T.O. today. Michael Robinson in the backfield.
These tackles, Jonas Jennings and Quayne Harris, having some problem with the speed of Kansas City's ends.
Smith to throw, and for Eric Johnson. He had it with one hand, and it came out on a tough hit. And a penalty flag comes in late. Eric Johnson, of course, playing because Vernon Davis is out for 4 weeks with that cracked fibula. No cast, no surgery, but Eric Johnson might need some help after this one.
And Kavika Mitchell laid it on him, and probably going to get a penalty for using his helmet.
2 fouls on the play. Offside, number 91, defense. That penalty is declined. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 50, defense. That penalty is accepted. 15 yards, first down.
You're going to see Tamba Ali right here. That's the offsides penalty that they declined. But then down the field, they're trying to hit Eric Johnson in the middle. Watch Kavika Mitchell, number 50 right there. Again, that's a tough penalty because I think he put a shoulder in him, but it was the taunt after. It wasn't the hit. It was that taunt and that finger after the play is what the penalty was called for.
Gives the Niners a first down. Smith throws to Maurice Hicks, who tries to put a move on it. Is brought down just across the 50-yard line. It was a penalty on Bryant Young, the 49er defensive lineman that helped the Kansas City scoring drive, and now the 49ers call time. So maybe this penalty keeps alive a 49er scoring drive with 43 seconds to go here in the half. And you'll want to stick around because Kurt Menefee and the guys, Terry, Howie, Jimmy, will have all the scores and highlights of all the other games going on today. The Cowboys up on Tennessee. How about that Arizona-Atlanta game? The Falcons coming off the Monday night matchup. Kurt Warner, is his job in jeopardy? It sounded like it this week.
A big game in Carolina, NFC South, Carolina and New Orleans. It's a big game. New Orleans 3-0. Had a great win last week, Monday night down there in the Dome. The first time being back in there. And, man, that was a scene.
Pre-game show coming from Carolina. Crowd enthusiastic. On second down. And about 8.
And again, look at all the guys at the line of scrimmage.
Quick pressure, throw, caught at the 45. That's short of a first down. Frank Gore on the receiving end. So that'll bring up third down. And we're at 34 seconds here remaining in the half.
And that time they show the early, and then they drop off into zone coverage, hoping they can confuse Alex Smith into throwing an interception.
One timeout remaining for the 49ers. And Kavika Mitchell, the glue of that Kansas City defense, said that he practices just as hard as he plays in the game. There's no switch with him. He has to kind of bring that mentality into Sunday.
And he's an intense guy, and he's the type of guy that this defense really needs, and they rally around Kavika Mitchell. And his first couple years in the league weren't good years, and there was a lot of talk and wondering if he was actually the guy that they drafted. Would he live up to that potential? And, you know, as the years have gone on, he developed into a starter, and now he has the mindset of a difference maker. He wants to be the guy that makes a difference and bring that physical, tough presence.
Right now, the 49ers need a difference maker on 3rd and 3. Battle in motion. Frank Gore in the backfield for Alex Smith, who throws and completes to Johnson. It's a first down at the 40, and a swarm of Chiefs on the scene. Something else we've noticed in watching Kansas City's defense, that after that first guy, there's a lot more guys to the ball.
Well, they're playing much faster than they have in the past. And what San Francisco, what they want to do is they just want to get into field goal range and see if they can just get some confidence, some momentum going into halftime, and then regroup it. They've been down at halftime in every game. So they're used to being in this situation, and they know they have the confidence of knowing that they've been a second half team.
From the 40-yard line, it's been all Kansas City. The crowd having an influence on 22-year-old Alex Smith. Good protection. Throws for Johnson, who catches it inside the 35-yard line before going out of bounds. Remember, the 49ers have one timeout with just 11 seconds here. Lenny Walls ran him out.
Michael Hicks did a good job. The Chiefs tried to bring the blitz and the pressure on Alex Smith, and they picked it up well. The running back Maurice Hicks was able to come out, pick up the outside blitzer, get him out of Alex Smith's face, and allowed Smith to throw the ball down the field.
Hicks remains in there. Antonio Bryant on the left side. Two receivers on the right for Alex Smith on 3rd and 4. 11 seconds to go before the half. He's going to roll right. Throws. And out of bounds. Bringing up 4th down. There was some question last week about going for it on 4th against the Eagles before the half, trailing in the game, and situation a little bit different, but
right, and that was a smart play by Alex Smith, because if he runs that ball, he probably runs time off the clock, and they got no chance. So smart play by Alex Smith, who's a young quarterback, but knowing the time left in the half.
Mike Nolan deciding to go with the kick attempt. It'll be 51 yards for Joe Nedney. And the kick is not good, off the mark. So the Chiefs 24-0 over the 49ers at halftime. The AT&T postgame after the Visa halftime report with Kurt Meadow.
Next week on Fox and
Brian. Somebody's going to get their first loss here tonight. It's not going to be us, is it? No.
Chiefs have scored 13 points off 3 San Francisco turnovers. Maurice Hicks, who will take the kick here, fumbled the last time.
You can see San Francisco is a second half team. You can see they've scored more points and a lot more yards in the second half. It's the second half now. It's time for them to get going.
And here is Hicks. Maurice Hicks across the 30-yard line. Chiefs came in leading the league in kickoff coverage. 25-yard return. 49ers on offense in a moment. After football today, hang on tight, don't blink. It's professional bull riding on Fox from Reading, Pennsylvania. The world's toughest cowboys put it all on the line. Coming up after our football coverage right here on Fox. First 6 possessions, the 49ers have turned it over 3 times, missed a field goal, and punted twice. Smith completes just near the 38-yard line. Antonio Bryant brings that down for his 2nd catch of the game. Ex-Cowboy, ex-Browns player.
Watch Tamba Ali right here. He's up in a two-point stance. He's a pass rusher. He's a guy that brings speed off the edge. Now look at him, dropping in pass coverage. Look at that plant and turn. Look at those hips swivel. Tamba Ali, that's not what he does best.
An amazing story that he left war-torn Liberia. His mom back there, growing up in New Jersey, playing at Penn State as Frank Gore carries across the 41-yard line. The rest of his family here. He kept in touch with his mom, but she couldn't make her way out of the country through the years, hoping to get her to this country. He told us, too, he played a lot of soccer when he was younger, and Herman Edwards said the footwork there helped his balance for such a big guy do what he does on the NFL line.
Yeah, it's really helped him, and you can see the balance and the agility that he has out there on the field. And, you know, he's a big guy at 275 pounds, but he can move, and he's very, very quick, very fast, and he brings a lot of pressure off the edge.
2nd and 3. Smith off the shoulder pads of Eric Johnson. Let's check in with Jay Glazer.
Well, guys, more on Tamba Ali. What a blessed week this is for him. We were just talking about how he left war-torn Liberia when he was 10 years old. And guess what? Today is the first day his mother's actually been able to see him play this game of football, not soccer, American football. She finally got out, is here with Tamba Ali, and again, she's up here in the stands watching her young man play for the first time. Back to you.
Story, he must be proud. He's playing well, but she's playing well. His mom thought he was playing football as in soccer. Alex Smith in trouble, keeping it himself. On 3rd down, he goes down.
And just a busted play right there. It looked like Frank Gore was expecting a pitch. Alex Smith was expecting a handoff, and just miscommunication right there. Part maybe because of the crowd noise, but going back to Tamba Ali and his mom, how shocked do you think she is today? She's thinking he's a soccer player and he's a soccer superstar. And now she comes out here and she sees him banging around with all these guys and pads and helmet on and everything, but I'm sure she's enjoying it. You see her shaking her head like, what is going on out here?
As long as her son is doing well, she's happy. A great story, and glad that she is finally able to make it here to this country to watch her son. Alex Smith throws, completes for a 1st down to Arnaz Battle. A pressure situation, and Smith delivers. And as the fans were cheering and on their feet here at Arrowhead.
And you see Tamba's mom, she's not really sure. When do I cheer? When do I stand up? What do I do here? And she's just trying to get the feel for American football. It'll take a little while.
She'll be, if she thinks all Chief games are this lopsided, she's spoiled. So a 1st down for the 49ers, trying to get a score on the board, trailing 27-0. They've only had a field goal try of 51 yards that misfired. And Smith goes down under a swarm overhead. Derek Johnson and Rich Scanlon there.
And Tamba Ali, they just bring too many guys for the Niners to pick up. It might have been a miscommunication. There's Tamba on the outside, but Derek Johnson is the guy that comes free inside, forces Alex to step up, and then Tamba finishes him off. But again, looks like the line, there's some miscommunication up front. Maybe they're not able to hear the blocking call in the center, and right now that offensive line is in some confusion.
And Tamba Ali right on cue, making mom proud. Meanwhile, 2nd and 19, they're going to run it. Michael Robinson trying to take a little pressure off the pass rush, and it just seems like the 49ers, JC, and we talked to them, they got in a little bit late last night here in Kansas City. They have just been under it all day.
Yeah, they really haven't. This defense is, you know, they're trying to gain respect. And when we talk to all of these players, that's the one thing they said defensively is they want to get the respect back. They felt like they lost that. They haven't been good over the past few years, and now there's an emphasis on playing defense again in Kansas City. And they feel, and Herman Edwards feels, that's how you win championships.
3rd and 16, the noise from Red. Brought down by Kavika Mitchell. It'll be a punting situation for the 49ers.
And in 3rd and long situations, it's always tough to convert because the defense is going to drop back into those deep zones. The Chiefs have played cover 2 with those safeties playing deep halves of the field. And those linebackers, they drop 5 guys underneath. They're all watching the quarterback. So when he steps up to run, they all converge on the quarterback.
So Dante Hall back to return. And Lee gets rid of it. Nice boot. That will be a touchback. 54-yard punt. Chiefs come out and will try and run the clock with a 27-0 third quarter lead. City, after the bye week, a 27-0 advantage. And they have the football. Larry Johnson has carried 14 times. Batted ball that's incomplete. Pass intended for Eddie Kennison. It's not that Johnson has rushed the ball all that well. He has a 1.6 average. They've just thrown the ball well and used him in the perfect spots.
They have, and you can see they've only averaged 8 points a game coming into the game today, and already 27 points. That's why I'm surprised that they're still throwing the football. Herm Edwards said that when they get in this situation, they want to run the football, pound. Why take a chance throwing it there? Almost got an interception that would give some momentum to San Francisco.
Stops the clock, brings up 2nd down and 10. He'll throw it again. And nice catch made by Gonzalez. And there might be a face mask penalty on the end of this play. Gonzalez, who only had a couple of catches last week, makes a nice grab here. 4 penalties so far in the game against the 49ers.
After the play, personal foul, grabbing and pulling the face mask, number 53, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's on Jeff Ulbrich.
But Damon Heward has done a tremendous job today. 14 of 17, very efficient, and he's thrown the ball all over the field. He's made the short throws on the crossers. He's thrown the ball down the field long, something that this offense has not done all year. You see the touchdown to Eddie Kennison, and they continue to throw the ball, and they're showing that they have confidence in Damon Heward, and has more confidence in himself.
His brother Brock, now a broadcaster in Seattle, former NFL quarterback. They were the first quarterbacks to start on the same weekend back in 2000 for separate teams. I know that Damon was talking about the Manning brothers this year. Said, hey, don't forget about the Heward guys. Well, his 8th NFL start after Larry Johnson carries, and the clock running at 6.5 to go in the 3rd.
And the other thing that's kind of Damon today is that the Niners have tried to bring pressure. The offensive line has picked it up, but when you bring that kind of pressure, you have to play man-to-man coverage on the outside. So all this guy has to do is beat single coverage, and we've seen Kennison do it, Dante, Tony Gonzalez, so it makes the throws easier.
And Heward will throw to Larry Johnson. Inside the 40. Another Kansas City first down. T.J. Slaughter making the stop for the 49ers, who are getting pushed around.
And Damon Heward's making all the right decisions. Watch the pressure come from the outside. He reads the blitz, and he just dumps the ball off to Larry Johnson, reads it right away, and then watch Larry Johnson. He's a big, strong guy, but he can make guys miss, too. He's very deceptive. Watch him make Mike Adams miss right there, and then he gets the extra yards, enough for a first down.
You think that hint that Hurts gave us about rookie Brody Croyle getting into the game?
Fired up Heward.
It had to help. Larry Johnson powering up the middle. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8. This prison break making Fox #1 in prime time. Under 5 to play here in the 3rd. Off to Johnson, hit hard right at the 35-yard line. Let's check in for a game break with Chris Rose. Chris?
All right, Chris, it looks like the Minnesota defense on a prison break here. But actually, Peerless Price, not only does he make the catch and the spin, he gets to the end zone for the first time since the 04 season. The Bills up on the Vikings 14-6. Back out to you in Kansas City.
Thanks, Chris. And the Vikings off to a good start. Tough loss to the Bears. A little hangover effect there for them dealing with Buffalo.
Yeah, but bad tackling. And you see that throughout the league. And that's something that's kind of don't work on tackling better. And you just have to do it and get better at it.
The throw high and out of bounds for Eddie Kennison. So that'll bring up a 4th down situation for Kansas City.
And going back to missed tackles, that's been a problem for the 49ers. Last week it was a huge problem. They missed a lot of tackles, and Mike Adams missed our touchdown run and got straight arm, but that's what they said. They said it was more them than the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, today I think it's more Kansas City Chiefs than it is the 49ers.
Lawrence Tynes will try a 53-yard field goal. No, it's a little pooch kick. The punt that bounces inside the 5, and the Chiefs down it there. You can be that creative when it's 27-0.
And look who's down in the ball. Jordan Black.
Jordan Black pins the Niners at their own goal line.
Let's go back to that pooch punt and a good job of coverage. Watch the guy that downs it, gets all the way down the field, hustles down, and downs the ball at the 1. Look at number 65, Jordan Black. That's the offensive tackle. Does a good job catching the ball, making sure he doesn't go into the end zone.
And Lawrence Tynes, who is the place kicker with that little pooch, the NFL's first Scottish-born player, and they team up to pin the 49ers back at their own 1-yard line.
Jordan Black, the more you can do.
Hand off to Gore. Remember, the 49ers playing without Larry Allen. He should be back next week. Vernon Davis out the next 4 weeks. Their rookie tight end, who they had hoped to get off to a big start. But this offense is just not clicked. He hurt his ribs, Frank Gore, coming out of that game last week, but told us last night he was fine physically.
Yeah, they just haven't shown up today. Maybe it was the early start. At 10 a.m. start, West Coast time. They got in late yesterday, and maybe they were sleeping a little bit the first half, and they just never seem to wake up.
Or they're inhaling the smell of barbecue, affecting their performance. 2nd and 9. Alex running around at his own end zone, and the pass is batted incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down.
And you see Alex Smith under pressure again. He's been under pressure all day long. There's Kamba Ali early in the game getting to him, and he's never really had time to set up and find guys down the field. He's running all over the field. He doesn't have time to even get his eyes up, and you see Ali again on the sack. It's just been a long, long day for Alex Smith. You can see he's been sacked 5 times, 14 hurries. He's been knocked around. He's been hit. He's been everything. And they're going to come after him again now.
Crowd wants part of the credit on 3rd and 9. Smith throws, and it's caught by Brian Gilmore. Penalty flag down with just over 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And they're trying to roll Smith out so that he can get away from some of that pressure. Been a sitting duck just standing in the pocket. They're trying to roll him out.
Illegal hands to the face, number 77, offense. That penalty is declined. It's down.
Penalty on Quaim Harris, the former first-round draft pick, 26th overall choice in 2003. We're just talking about some of the adjustments on that offensive line. This Kansas City defense, Herm Edwards said, going into their 2nd game of the year, I want guys that get into a fist fight, and you can't fight somebody standing behind somebody. I want guys to step up and do it, do the job.
Don't get scared. We want to see who the tough guys are. Don't try to fight behind somebody. You stand up and you fight and you hit the guy, and if he hits you back, you better go hit him again, and that's what they've done.
Dante Hall on the punt return. It'll bounce in front, and he'll let it hang around the 50-yard line, and the Kansas City Chiefs going through an identity change. It's more about the defense here at Arrowhead. Along with J.C. Pearson, Jay Glazer down on the field, Chris Myers, our entire Fox crew, thanks for being with us here. The Chiefs come out of the bye week powerfully, leading 27-0. Don't forget, Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Baseball's 2nd season, the one that counts. The Yankees will face either the Tigers or the Twins on 1st and 10 from midfield. Throwing again, that was for Rod Gardner, who is in his first game active as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs, former first-round pick, played with the Redskins in Carolina and Green Bay, and trying to work him in. I'm surprised the Chiefs are still throwing at this point.
Yeah, I am too. And you know, the way they want to play as a team, we remember go back to the pooched punt, forces the San Francisco deep in their own territory. They come in, they play good, tough defense, and now they get the ball at midfield. You know, it's a game of field position.
Yeah, no Kyle Turley. His back bothered him this week, didn't practice. Jordan Black starting a tackle. That's complete to Kennison. Another pass. Hewitt probably says, look, I don't get these chances that often. I'm going to keep throwing.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is this has been a high-powered offense for many, many years. Obviously, they're missing some parts. Trent Green is not in there. You know, obviously, Kyle Turley's not there. But they still have a lot of very capable offensive players. And the way that they're playing defense now, if they can put points on the board, they're going to be tough to beat. The first couple weeks, they were just too conservative.
On first down, here comes Larry Johnson, and you saw as Larry Johnson powers through to the 25-yard line of San Francisco. He's not getting tired.
He's not getting tired. And what happens is you spread everybody out. Now you're throwing the ball around, and now you hand it to Larry Johnson. You know, big, strong guy. He's going to wear teams down. And now in the fourth quarter, you see that. Watch the arm tackles. There's one by Anthony Adams, and then there's nobody else there. Mike Adams is scared to come up and hit him. He's waiting for somebody else to come and tackle him, and that's what Larry Johnson does to people late in the ball game.
6'1", 230 pounds. His father, the defensive line coach at Penn State, Larry Johnson Sr., had an influence on the Chiefs' drafting of Tamba Hali. Marcus Douglas making the stop for San Francisco.
And that's what San Francisco hasn't had enough of today, and that's penetration by their defensive line. Even when they've tried to bring linebackers or secondary guys on the pressure, they haven't been able to penetrate, get into the backfield of the Chiefs and disrupt any plays. That was one of the few times they've been able to do it all day.
Second down and 10. 50 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Handoff inside to the fullback Cruz, who gets to the 20. Let's get a quick game break in Los Angeles with Chris Rose. Chris?
All right, Chris, you remember that Kurt Warner was the MVP of Super Bowl 34 in the Georgia Dome? Hasn't worked out that well today. Picked off by D'Angelo Hall, who celebrates it like the 20, and he's in his third pick of the season, and the Falcons up a dozen on the cards. Back to Chris, JC, and the Glaze.
All right, thank you, Chris. Keeping an eye on things with highlights, updates of all the games going on. And, of course, our ticker, not only the NFL scores, but those baseball scores of importance. 3rd and 4, Larry Johnson carries. First down. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. The Chiefs lead 27-0. Fox NFL Sunday returns after these messages. And a word from your local station. Larry Johnson taking control of things from here.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday. When football season becomes winter season.
Winter blast.
The Chiefs trust us.
It's going to be very chilly.
The fans.
Now, weeks before the election, she says she has no authority. McCaskill said,
I expect you to hold me accountable.
Maybe we should.
I'm Jim Talent, and I approve this message.
Well, you know things are going well for Kansas City. You don't see that very often. Larry Johnson smiling on the football field. He's a guy that plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's angry, and that lends to the way that he runs the ball. So tough, so physical, so aggressive. You very rarely see that guy smile on the football field.
Got his first touchdown of this season earlier in this game, and here he goes again. Larry Johnson inside the 2. That's the way the Chiefs want to start the fourth quarter. A little more emotion.
Right there. He's got an attitude, and that's why he runs the ball so hard. But let's give these guys inside, Casey Wigman, Brian Waters, Will Shields, a lot of credit, because that's where they pounded the football all day long. They just run straight ahead at this smaller, undersized 49er defense and just have worn them down.
First down from the 2, Larry Johnson, and yes, another touchdown for Larry Johnson. So he ran 20 in last year. He's got 2 now. So far this season, we still have 14:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. 33-0 Kansas City. And the extra point. Tynes makes it 34-0. Damon Heward and Larry Johnson leading the way. When will Trent Green be back? Out since game 1. Our Jay Glazer spoke with him yesterday.
If there was 100% up here, where are you?
Well, I think I'm drastically improved. I don't know from a percentage standpoint. I feel 100% better than I did, the Wednesday that I got out of the hospital. But do I feel back to normal yet? Definitely not. And there's still things that that I do that remind me. I'll fall into a lull for a couple hours, thinking, hey, everything's normal, and then something will happen where I'll be like, okay, I need to sit down for a second because it's not normal.
What kind of problems are you still having?
Well, the one thing that I'm real fortunate with is that I've never had a lot of the headaches. Some of the other symptoms that are associated with concussions, I have had some sensitivity to different, whether it be light or sounds or quick movements, those kinds of things still bother me a little bit.
And we saw Trent Friday after he threw the ball a little bit on his own and watched practice and said that's the frustrating part. It'll be weeks before they even determine when he'll be able to practice, thus get back into a game.
And the way that they played without him in Denver, everyone was so concerned that we've got to get Trent back right away because we can't throw the ball anymore. Well, after the performance today, I think Trent can take his time and make sure he's 100% healthy because Damon Heward has shown that he can run and execute this offense.
Maurice Hicks from his own end zone, and it'll be a touchback. The 49ers come out to the 20-yard line. Let's check in down on the field with Jay Glazer.
Oh, guys, in talking to Trent Green, he said the most frustrating part of it, it's not like when he injured his knee where the doctor said, this is when your rehab's going to take you. Week 8, you'll be here. Week 12, you'll be here. Week 15, you'll be here. He said with the concussion, you get different opinions from so many different people out there. Nobody can really give me an answer just when I'll be back.
He got calls from Kurt Warner, Priest Holmes on how to deal with this type of thing. Said he's tired of sitting around at home and wrote up some plays and gave them to Herm Edwards and offensive coordinator Mike Solari. Some bootlegs.
Yeah, I wonder if Jay gave him any help. He looks like he's had a couple concussions.
On first down, Alex Smith throws it complete for Frank Gore. The furthest the 49er offense, remember they came in a top 5 offense in the NFL. The furthest they've gotten is to the Kansas City 33-yard line. Their only scoring opportunity was a 51-yard field goal miss by Joe Nedney.
They just haven't been able to execute today. And you see the frustration with Coach Nolan right there. He just doesn't know what else to do. Just try to keep calling plays and just let this young team just try to, let them know that he's not giving up on them.
They've come back in all of their games with a 1-2 record. Here's Gore to at least make it interesting. Fought back against the Eagles last week before losing 38-24.
And the problem that they've had is that they're not a good enough team right now to overcome all the mistakes that they make, especially turning the ball over, which leads to points for the opponents. They're just not good enough. They're still very young. They've got some talented players, but they're still growing. They're still learning, and it's going to take them a while still.
3rd and 5, Michael Robinson in. Only Penn State player to have 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards passing in the same season. Former Penn State quarterback, short yardage back here. Robinson the carry, bowls over whoever was in his way and gets near the first down.
And one of the problems that this offense has had, we've talked about all the problems, but they just can't throw the ball. And Alex Smith has been under so much pressure, and you can see, yards and under, they 9 of 14, but they can't get anything down the field because they don't have time to throw the ball.
4th and short, you saw Alex Smith wanting to go for it in this situation. And again, there were some calls last week where the Niners players thought they should have gone for it. Mike, thinking we're just not there yet.
Right, and this is not the situation to go for it on your own 29-yard line because the way this Chiefs offense is playing, they're going to get back in the end zone and the score will get that much uglier.
It's been a busy day for Andy Lee. Chief fans would like to see Dante Hall, who has a touchdown catch in this game, run one back. He's going the other way. Good special teams coverage. Keith Lewis brings him down at the 15-yard line. But the Chiefs take over on offense, protecting a 34-0 lead.
For great taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Microsoft, software for the people-ready business, by McDonald's, by Miller Lite and the men of the square table, good call, and by Reebok, 1,800 players, 1,800 stories, one outfitter. Reebok, official outfitter of the NFL.
We welcome you back. Sold out at Arrowhead. They've been selling it out since '91. Some of the great coaches and players who have contributed over the years to Kansas City football. On 1st and 10. Handoff, Larry Johnson. Breaks a tackle to get into the arms. Larry Johnson up there midfield, but it looked like he was going to lose a couple.
And again, Chris, missed tackles. It's been a problem for the 49ers all year long. And Larry Johnson, a big, strong guy, he wears teams down, and now they start to arm tackle, and this offensive line starts to lay on guys, and they get tired, and next thing you know, Larry Johnson is not going to go down by an arm tackle and just breaks out, turns what should have been a loss into a big game.
Takes a breather after his longest run of the season, 28 yards, the bulk of that total. The average isn't great, but he's wearing down the 49er defense. On 1st down, this time it's Ronnie Cruz keeping the clock running. Some of the, we mentioned some of the Chiefs who have played here over the years. How about that defensive back? J.C. Pearson.
How about that? That's going way back in the archive. That's going way, way back.
Much of your 9-year career.
How about that?
Doug Raver, one of your coaches. Herman Edwards. Who is it? Somebody from the
same guy that you see today. No, but back in the day, that was in style.
Was it in style? Yeah, I hope so.
The mustache and then the shag haircut. That was back in the day, man.
I'm glad you've improved over the years. I know your wife's happy about that. Well, Chief fans remember you for all your hard work, and popular that you still cover the team. And, you know, you always got along with your coaches, I heard. But what's going on here?
Yeah. That's Marty Schottenheimer, and everybody knows how Marty is. He's going to get in people's faces, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So he wasn't saying good job there, I guess.
Well, he was just, I don't know what he was saying there. But
you know, the time when you played at Marty Schottenheimer, that's a little bit of the return of the kind of defensive philosophy in the crowd back to those days that we're seeing with Herm Edwards.
That's exactly right. And remember, Herman Edwards was my position coach under Marty. He started out here as a scout, but then he was also a position coach, so he's getting back to that hard, tough-nosed defense.
Heward to throw on 3rd and 8. Gonzalez has it out of bounds. Another Kansas City first down. Herman Edwards' long relationship with Carl Peterson, the fine general manager. And as he told us, he said, no matter what the circumstance, this is the right place for me to be after New York. You know, he took him to the playoffs 3 times in 5 years with the Jets, and it was a matter of principle. At least he related a story in the past that's what made him change direction. But this was the best place, and he said that he tells his guy, you know, with him, what he says is what you're getting. And when he said to me, if I tell you it's Easter, start coloring your eggs.
Because it's the truth, and that's the one thing about Herman Edwards. He's as honest as he can be, and he will tell you the truth every single time.
Carry by D. Brown. Let's check in for another game break. Here's Chris Rose.
Chris, the unbeaten Saints have their first lead of the day. Deuce McAllister capping off a 13-play, 82-yard drive. Could the Saints improve to 4-0 for the first time since '93? They're up 3 in Carolina. Back to Chris, JC, and the Glaze.
Thanks, Chris. Saints, it's not just about emotion in the Superdome. They've got a real thing going there. Next week on Fox, the Buccaneers, a winless team with Bruce Gradkowski, a rookie quarterback, will face New Orleans. Maybe we'll see the same kind of bounce-back performance from Kansas City winless coming into this game.
Yeah, I'm still trying to bounce back from that headshot you guys showed.
You didn't know that was coming.
No, I'm still trying to bounce back from that.
I'm sure your family members have the TiVo running. And Larry Johnson back in the game and running. So at the 9-minute mark, you know, there's a lot of Reds still in the seats here. I think they're going to savor this for a while.
No, they'll be out in the parking lot tailgating after the game, and they'll be here for a while. They've got the wave going now. You know, this is a very intimidating crowd for an opposing team, especially when things are going the way they are today.
A little warm for this time of year, but the sunny disposition, perfect for the fans and the home team. They're out here, these fans, just 6 hours before kickoff, tailgating, barbecuing. That's D. Brown. In his 4th year from Syracuse, penalty flag comes in late. D. Brown backed up McNabb.
Number 79, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Kevin Sampson called for the penalty. And we talk about this Chief offensive line. We know that Willie Rofe is not in the picture, but is John Welborn a guy who, did he retire? Did he not? He's under a 6-game suspension. Would the Chiefs get him back at some point?
Well, that's a possibility. Once he's done with this suspension, they can bring him back and work him out for a couple of weeks and see if they want to add him to the roster or not. You know, they're a little short-handed today with Kyle Turley being out, but Jordan Black has stepped in. He's done a good job. Will Spitek, number 71, and Sampson. Those are guys, so they've got some depth at the tackle position, so they'll see where Welborn is at.
The penalty pushes him back. 3rd and 12, and Heward's going to hand off to Brown, who is knocked out about the 42, 43-yard line. It will bring up a punting situation for Kansas City. Anthony Adams helping to make the stop for the 49ers. It's been all Kansas City right from the start. The opening drive controlled by Damon Heward and Larry Johnson, resulting in a Dante Hall touchdown catch. And the wheels came off for the 49ers.
And it all started with the turnovers. And that is really what has snowballed into what's now a rout by the Chiefs. And as we said earlier, the 49ers, they're just a young team, and they're not good enough right now to overcome shooting themselves in the foot.
So Dustin Colquitt, whose dad was and is Craig Colquitt, who was, we should say, in the NFL with the Steelers and the Colts. Punting here to Brandon Williams, the rookie from Wisconsin, who's from Hazelwood East in St. Louis, Missouri. Fair catch at the 10-yard line. Chiefs 34, 49ers nothing. 6:58 to go here in the 4th quarter. Jay Glazer undercover, a new show on Fox. And, you know, I kid because I care. There's a diehard fan. I thought that if he was on the phone, that would have been Jay trying to get a scoop.
Yeah. that oversized Tony Gonzalez jersey.
The headdress looked good. On 1st down, Smith has protection in and out of the hands of Eric Johnson, so it's incomplete. The 49er offense vanished, might be the word that describes. Tomorrow night on Fox, after an all-new Prison Break, enter the mystery of Vanished. It's a new episode at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
And that's right. This offense has vanished. I don't know where they're at. They had been a big play offense coming into this game, but they haven't been able to make big plays, little plays, or very few plays at all.
They were more concerned about key 3rd down plays and sustaining drives coming into this game, but we've seen very little of anything from San Francisco, which had been very explosive. Even though they have the 1-2 record, they at least had come back on teams to make games interesting.
And they just haven't executed today. And, you know, give this Chiefs defense a lot of credit because they are drastically improved from where they've been in the past. But, you know, this 49ers offense, they've got some big play guys on there. Antonio Bryant, other than that one catch early in the game, you know, really haven't heard anything from him. And Frank Gore hasn't gotten untracked. Or, you know, I think they're missing Vernon Davis, their #1 draft pick at tight end. That, you know, he could have stretched the field for him a little bit.
Only 2 catches for Bryant in the game. Smith rolling on 2nd down. And he's going to run with it across the 20-yard line, bringing up a 1st down situation. Yes, did he get past the marker? He did.
And what Alex Smith has to learn is to slide. If you go head first, you're still live. So guys are going to take shots at you, but if you go feet first and slide, you're off limits. They cannot hit you from that point, and you're dead right there at the spot.
That's exactly what Antonio Bryant was telling you, and you mentioned it, that, hey, in certain situations, you go for it, otherwise take your shots. But again, just coming up short, they're going to have to turn the ball over, and you can sense the frustration. When Antonio Bryant, you brought up, hey, calling out your quarterback publicly, he was, I want to win. I care about what's going on here. We're cool. Alex Smith and I are cool. Well, the whole offense has been chilled today. So another punting situation with all the opportunities that Dante Hall has gotten. You've talked to him before about the heyday happened to Dante in his return game.
Well, he's back, and last year got caught up in a lot of the hype and stuff from what he did a couple years ago.
And here's the hype from Dante Hall. What about it? You said he's back.
He's back.
Dante Hall, touchdown.
He said that he was back. He's focused. He understands exactly what he's supposed to do, and he's not going to try to make a big return every time. He's just going to hit it where it's supposed to go and then take it from there. That's a great example.
He had not had a punt return for a touchdown since 2004. His 5th career punt return for 6. That was a 40-yard kick and a 60-yard run back, and he looked like the Dante of old. Lawrence Tynes will make it 41-0. Dante Hall with a touchdown catch, adding a punt return for the Chiefs.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Visa. Go on, live life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa.
Welcome back here in Kansas City. Feels a little bit more like summer than fall. Dante Hall breaking a sweat. Littlest guy on the field at 5'8", making another big play.
Another big play. And, you know, back in 04, after he had that huge year, he said that, you know, with all the appearances and everything, all the accolades, it kind of got away from preparation and just trying to make a big play every time. Well, now he's back to doing what he's supposed to do, and it shows.
Maurice Hicks out to the 30 for San Francisco. So Dante Hall, from those appearances on Letterman, he's starring here on a field in Kansas City. His punt return giving the Chiefs a 41-0 lead.
We're not even in the right seats.
Yeah, girl, ladies. Oh, eat it up, buddy. Adios. Oh.
Oh. Is that part of the show?
Along with J.C. Pearson and Jay Glazer out on the field, Chris Myers here. Glad to have you with us for Fox NFL Sunday. Trent Green back on the sidelines for the first time since being knocked out in the opener, watching Damon Huard lead the offense with Larry Johnson. And Dante Hall scoring on a punt return. He scored on a touchdown catch. 49ers have only been to the 33 of Kansas City. They get up to their own 34, 35-yard line as Frank Gore carries. And the 3 turnovers that JC talked about, translating into 13 points for Kansas City. Alex Smith came into this game not having thrown an interception in the first 3 games, and the accuracy of Damon Huard, over 200 yards, 18 of 23, and a couple of touchdowns, and the reliability of hard-running Larry Johnson has allowed the Chiefs to blow San Francisco out. And the crowd has helped a little too. Alex Smith to Eric Johnson, and a swarm of Chiefs.
And that's the thing about this defense now. There's not just one guy trying to make the tackle, and that's what it's been in the past, and we've seen that problem with the 49ers today. But this defense is fast, and they're swarming to the ball, and when you can add guys like Tamba Ali and Kawika Mitchell's playing very well, those guys running sideline to sideline, and it makes it tough.
The Chiefs do not look like an 0-2 team. I know some things have changed from opening week, but Herman Edwards has gotten a handle on what he wants Kansas City to do. Second down. Smith on the run again. And having to throw it into the turf. You saw number 70, Stephen Williams, inside, the free agent from Northwest Missouri State. Moved up from the practice squad. A guy that Herm said, you know, I'm going to give him a chance. I got a chance as a free agent in this league, and if guys play hard, I want them out there.
And that's why these players respect Herman Edwards so much, because he doesn't care where you were drafted. He doesn't care how much money you make. He's basing everything off of performance and production, and that's the only way to do it. If you're going to perform, and he doesn't care if you're an undrafted free agent, he's going to give you an opportunity.
So another opportunity for Dante Hall. Now they'll wisely try and kick it away from him as it bounces out of bounds. Andy Lee making sure. The Yankees Tuesday night postseason baseball on Fox. And the Yankees, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, Tuesday night. They don't know who they're going to play yet. Is it the Tigers or the Twins? Stay with Fox Baseball throughout the postseason. You can't script things like this. And Brody Croyle is in the game, the rookie out of Alabama, subbing for Damon Hewitt. Hand off to Larry Johnson, who stays in. Croyle, the third-round draft pick, had hurt his shoulder and missed a couple of preseason games, but Herm Edwards spoke glowingly of him, said he's got that something in the huddle, that intangible that quarterbacks have to have.
Just that swagger and that confidence, and it's good that they're getting him some reps in a game like this, because he played in the preseason, but it's different, the preseason to the regular season. And if something happens to Damon Hewitt, Brody Croyle's the next guy up, so you've got to get him some reps.
His father John played on the '73 Alabama championship team for Bear Bryant. Can you tell we're in a 41-0 game with 3 minutes left? And Croyle hands off to Larry Johnson. Let's check in with Jay Glazer.
Oh, guys, ready for any story here. Brody Croyle last night. I'm standing there with Mike Nolan. You guys are in the room for the production meeting. And who comes walking into the Niners hotel? Brody Croyle. He said, what are you doing here? He said, I'm just meeting the team at the hotel. So, yeah, you got the wrong hotel. He said, yeah, okay, whatever. No, you got the wrong hotel. He ended up going to the Niners hotel, not the Chiefs hotel. At least today, he'll probably feel a little bit better than last night.
Yeah, that's a wrong way, Brody.
Yeah, that's a rookie for you.
Well, he didn't know. You went and checked. The coaches told us, but he didn't know that he was even going to get in the game today.
No, and that's probably good with the rookie guy. Don't tell him anything, because if you tell him that, then that's all he's thinking about, and he can get nervous and panic. But if you just throw him in, he just has to play.
And, of course, 49er fans, the name Brody conjures up different images. John Brody, longtime quarterback in the days when Mike Nolan's dad, Dick Nolan, coached the 49ers. Let's check in with Chris Rose in Los Angeles for a game break.
All right, Chris, a couple other rookie quarterbacks making headlines today. Matt Leinart fumbled on his second NFL snap, got picked off by Michael Boldy on his 13th, and the Cardinals getting crushed in Atlanta. Vince Young making his first NFL start, looking for Brady James. Well, he plays for the Cowboys. That's a problem. Dallas all over Tennessee as well. Let's send it back out to Chris and the gang out in KC.
Thanks, Chris. Don't forget the doubleheader weekend as the pregame show on the road in Philadelphia. T.O. and the Cowboys having success today. Terry Glenn, a big day. But T.O.'s return to Philadelphia as Fox NFL Sunday, the NFL on Fox next weekend, a doubleheader weekend. Brandon Williams back for the 49ers. And falls down at his own 22, but gets up. Moves it out to about the 28-yard line as we near the 2-minute warning, and it will be a warning for San Francisco. They hope that back that jet plane right up here to the stadium.
Yeah, if they can get out of there, sooner they can leave here, the better.
Number 96, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. With first down.
Penalty flag on the 49ers. Melvin Oliver called for the infraction. It'll back him up even more. Tonight on Fox, The Simpsons, then till death, a bonus Simpsons, and a bonus till death, Family Guy, and a brand new The War at Home. It's all funny stuff. You'll laugh out loud. Viewer discretion advised, but all laughs are welcome. It starts tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, here on Fox.
Why Herman Edwards told us that this offense is going to go through number 27, Larry Johnson. You can see 11 of the last 12 games, he's rushed for over 100 yards. And that guy right there, like I said in the open, arguably the best running back in football right now.
The 49ers would agree with that. Frank Gore gets out across the 20 as we get to the 2-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. It's been all Kansas City. Can the 49ers get on the board? This may be their last shot. We'll be back at Arrowhead.
Fox NFL Sundays, sponsored by the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Chiefs working on a shutout. They've poured it on offensively. Their third game of the year. Looking at their first win just 2 minutes away. There's the quarterback screen to Heward, to Brody Croyle. Coming up next, Kansas City has Arizona, the Steelers, couple of road games, and then home with the Chargers, Seattle. They hope that John Welborn could be back maybe for that Seahawk game or when the Rams play the Chiefs in St. Louis.
And they've got some tough games coming up. That's why today was a must-win.
Intercepted. The pass by Alex Smith, picked off by Ty Law. And the Law lay down past the 30. The veteran who played with Herm Edwards in New York came over to help the cover two, which we didn't really have to talk about a lot today.
And that's what allows him to jump this slant as he's playing cover two. We know he has help deep, and so he can jump all the short stuff. He reads that route and jumps right in front of the receiver. And you know, that's what a veteran guy gives you. He understands the defense. He understands what he's able to do, because a double move he doesn't care about. He's got a safety over the top that'll cover that.
So the Chief defense, with nearly 40 years of experience in that starting secondary, getting another turnover, and they're just going to run this game out and get the shutout. A shutout would be an impressive thing for Herman Edwards and this team. Last shutout was when they 49-0 in 2002. Kavika Mitchell, the man in the middle. It's a rebuilt, revamped kind of defense. Tamba Hali, top draft pick.
And brought Ty Law in, the guy that just made the interception, that signed him. Got Sammy Knight, Patrick Surtain, Kendrell Bell. A lot of guys, a lot of pieces they've added to this defense the last couple of years.
A certain kind of spirit, though, that Herman Edwards, attitude that he's brought. And as he pointed out, that he wants the Chiefs to be known for their defense. Not oh, well, that's just the, you know, the other side of things, where they're going to score a lot of points. Well, they did both today.
They did, and when they're able to put points on the board like they did today and play the type of defense that they're playing now, they're going to be awfully tough to beat. And even though this is their first win of the season, I think they are starting to understand how Herman Edwards wants this team to play, and they're just building and building.
Meanwhile, the 49ers, if Mike Nolan wanted a reading on the game last week from his team, he's not going to like the reading here as they face the Bay Area rival Raiders up next. Herman Edwards' first victory as a head coach in Kansas City. Tamba Hali's mom seeing her son for the first time play American football. A rising star in the NFL and a 10-year veteran, Damon Heward, in only his 8th start, delivering impressive numbers for Herm Edwards and the Kansas City wins it 41-0. We'll be back with more post-game thoughts on the Chiefs' win over the 49ers in just a moment.